G'day, I hope you're well. Thought I'd discuss furthermore with you the basis of staggered single coils. Sort of why they have come about as they are, why they're staggered like they are, and sort of some of the common issues that you may come across with them and how to avoid them. So if you haven't figured out how to get around that, then stick around for the rest of this video. The staggered single coils, you commonly see them within vintage Telecasters like this one or vintage style Strats. Now, why that's come across is most vintage fenders have the 7.5 inch radius, so it's a bit more of a curved, and that's built to accommodate for that round oval shape that you see on the fretboards, as opposed to more modern fenders where they have either a compound radius coming from the 7.5 all the way down to perhaps, I think it's a 10 inch radius. Yes, a 10 inch radius, sorry. So I've got the Fiesta Red Strat. These have the crazy stagger, and I'll show you later. But I'll present to you exactly what the stagger does as far as volume as well. Hear that? Do you hear an overtone? Sounded like I had a vibrato pedal on the floor, didn't it? Well, in actual fact, I don't. What it was, for the purpose of this video, I set the pickups dead flat on this Strat. So there's no slope of the stagger, so the stagger is directly like that. And what was happening was, and I'll explain that a little bit better later, but it was the actual magnets causing the problems for the intonation, even though this guitar was perfectly in tune. So I'll do another clip and I'll revert this back to the way it was. Alrighty, so now this is part 2. Have a listen to what I've done. Do you hear how it's staying in tune a little bit better? And no, I did not tune this and muck around with the tuning at all. In actual fact, I adjusted this side of the magnets so that the pickup isn't sitting dead straight, it's sitting on an angle. Now I'll show you exactly why that is and why we have this sort of issue with staggered single coils. Okay, so I thought I'd move a little more up close and personal to the camera. So with this, I've got a standard sort of staggered Alnico 5 single coil. I think I picked this up for about $12 off eBay. I put it through one of my Strats with 500k pots. Big mistake. For some guitarists, you do understand. Most of you will understand that Strats normally use 250k pots, so it was a little too bright and too open. But anyway, I've got it handy in case I feel like using it. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is pretty much the stagger. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. So that would be the 6th string, the lowest string, and that'll be the highest. Now, if you look at it this way, and it's sitting straight, you can notice a bit better that the two brightest strings, the 1st and 2nd strings, aren't as, well,
aren't getting picked up very well. Now, that was a vintage setup for years. The first two strings were always, not wound, while the third string, the G string, as we all know, it used to be wound back in the 40s, 50s and 60s. And in the backside, because then, not only do the pickups have to not sit directly like that, they have to sit like that, but then it creates another problem. The magnet is this magnet here is picking up the third string. So therefore the gravitational pull of the magnet to the two middle strings still puts the guitar out of whack in intonation. There's a couple of easy fixes. If you got, unlike this Tele is actually, the stagger isn't so bad. On that Strat I just played, that's a brand new Strat. Basically what that means is you're gonna have to get that magnet and that one down a little bit, just enough so that the stagger isn't too aggressive, and as well then that way you're not losing too much volume, or there's not too much difference between the first two strings and the third string. Tone purists, bear with me. So you just get something like these, or because they have wax in them, you can easily shift them. I've already done this before on this pickup, so I'm not going to push it too far. Just going to give them a gentle little squeeze. Another trick as well is you can hit it with a hammer or something like this. There we go. At least now you know what's going on with reissues and why, and especially the Fender professionals, they might hopefully it sheds some light as well to why Fender are now running, which I'm really interested in, but the Alnico 5 hybrids, the ones with the where there's fours, are they using? Does anyone know where they place the Alnico 4 magnets in the pickups? If anyone knows, please write it down in the description. I'll get back to you. But most of all, we all know what's going on now. Hopefully there's a little more light shed on the subject. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content very similar to this one. Cheers.